right, guys, we're gonna go over the verification process. This is very important because this is how we get paid. So it's very important that we follow a structure that guarantees us the highest percentage of that verification going through. So what we do, once we complete the app, there is a signature part. This is the last portion of the app that you set up before it actually goes through in the submission. So once we get to the signature page, you wanna wait because you wanna ensure that it does verify. Once you submit it, there's nothing you can do about the verification. So at this point, when it shows the signature, make sure you wait and you wanna preempt them about the phone call. Now that's very important because the phone call is actually how we get the verification on the spot. So with that, you preempt them, let them know like, hey, you can show, do signals like, hey, do you have your phone on you? You can point, let them know, hey, go ahead and grab your phone. This is the last part, it's the most important part. We're just gonna call to verify quick. We're gonna verify the details like your number, your address, that you're interested in getting the kitchen or bathroom looked at, as well as to make sure that that date that you were looking for is still available. Okay, so go ahead and get your phone. Go ahead and point, give them direction, make it clear. After that, you wanna preempt them about the date. So once you see them getting their phone out and that you guys are on the same page, they're following the instructions, then you want to preempt them about the date. Now the date's very important because we have a 10-day window that we have to select that date. It has to be scheduled within 10 days. And so we want to preempt them. Sometimes depending on the availability, that date that they're looking for specifically might not work for them. So what we do is we preempt them, just let them know, hey, everyone's been signing up. So that date that you're looking for, it might not be available, but what we can do is just select a temporary date to make sure you are guaranteed one of those slots. And then if that date doesn't work for you, I'll give you the callback number that you can use to reschedule later on. So just to make sure that they understand that they're on the same page, once you get that confirmation from them, they say, okay, there's a head nod, you know that there's an understanding. Then you want to go ahead and go back to directing them, giving them more direction, telling them, okay, go ahead, grab that phone, let me know when you're ready, I'll give you the phone number. Once they get the phone number, or once they get their phone out, you can go ahead and give them that phone number. And then once you see that they are making that phone call, once they actually dial it and they're pushing send or the green button, then you can submit it. Then at that point you want to submit the page because you want to make sure that when the call center answers, they can find the appointment. If you don't submit it, then they're not going to be able to see it on their end for the call center. So as soon as they grab that phone, they pull out the number and they dial it, you want to submit it immediately. Okay, so after that, once they get on the phone with the call center, you can let them know, hey, sometimes they're hard to understand, they can be a little confusing, you can go ahead and put it on speaker, that way I can help assist you through the process. And then so at that point, that's very important because we lose a lot of people on that phone call. Sometimes the call center people, they are very hard to understand. The questions that they ask can be confusing. And sometimes the customers don't really listen and they just answer yes, 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 because they want to hurry up and get through the process. So try to have it on speaker if you can, that way you can help take control and control the conversation. So sometimes after a few times, you'll be able to know what questions are being asked. That way if they don't understand, you can translate for them or just tell them like, oh, they asked this, they asked that. That way they're on the same page, and again, you're ensuring that that verification does go through. Okay, so after that, usually during the process, what I like to do is compliantly hold the Costco card until they are done verifying. So it kind of just, I don't know, gives them a signal to stay there. They're not gonna leave without their Costco card, right? And so when they first give me that Costco card so I can put in all the information, I just hold on to it along with the pamphlet, and I wait for them to finish the phone call and finish verifying before I give it to them back. And while they are doing the phone call, what I like to do is I take the pamphlet and I write down their appointment time, their appointment date, and that number that they can use to call back. So as soon as you submit it and they get on the phone with the call center, you immediately want to go to book a date. So you want to book a date, look for the dates that are available, and try to find one that works for them. So earlier when you were doing the information, you asked if they're available mornings, afternoons, or evenings, and what date. So that way you already know in the back of your head what to look for. So then after that, while you're looking for that date, you want to show them and just ask them, hey, does this work for you? Make sure that they're aware of the date that you're selecting. If it doesn't happen to work, just let them know it is just that temporary date that we're going to select and verify. That way they are in the system and are guaranteed a slot. That way you guys are both on the same page. When they ask if that date works, they're going to verify because you guys already talked about it. Okay, so then after that, once you have that date, you want to write on the pamphlet the time, the date, and that callback number. That way they know, they have it on file, and they have the number That way they can call back and reschedule if that date that you select happened not to work for them. Okay, and then at the end of the phone call, once they're done verifying, make sure to let them know to wait at least 24 hours before they call and reschedule. That way they don't get booted out of the system, because if they call and cancel the same day, that can take away that verification for that appointment you set up. Okay? Awesome. Perfect.